Alright, so we're continuing reading through the Radiance Sutras, the 112 Gateways to the Yoga of Wonder and Delight, a modern translation and commentary of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra by Lauren Roche. Last time, I believe I said we would go straight into each of the yuktis, the 112 pathways to liberation, verse by verse. But while going through some of the parts of this book, I realized that this is a very non-linear book, and there's something at the end that I'd like to read first before we dive into those verses. This is Engaging with the Sutras, a section that teaches us how we should engage with the words of this ancient text. So, very fitting to read before we get into that. Let's dive right into it. May this reading relax your mind and awaken your heart. There are many ways to explore the Radiance Sutras and develop a meditation practice with them. One way is to just show up and dive in, read them once in a while, and let them influence your prana shakti, your life force, in the background. Hi, Sandy. My lovely cat Sandy is here. I can zoom out, maybe you can see him. Oh, he just jumped down right when I went to zoom out. Thank you for your patience. Let me just let him out of the room since he was taking a nap on the bed. And he's ready for probably dinner. Thank you for your patience. Where was I? Another way is to develop a relationship with one of the sutras and spend time with it on a regular basis. You can ask your inner wisdom to lead you to the right sutra and teach you the most useful way to play with it. Here are a few more hints for cultivating a healthy and life-affirming meditation practice with the sutras. The first is to respect the power of your love. Answer the call of the sutras you love. It is powerful to spend even 1 minute being in the presence of what you adore. Secondly, make yourself at home. One of the great gifts of meditation is learning how to be at home in yourself and in the world. As you come in and explore your relationship with these practices, be welcoming and non-judgmental toward yourself. Third, open embrace is the style of attention called for in most of these 112 practices. This is the opposite of concentration. The posture is that of opening your arms wide to the universe and to your inner world. Be playful. Fourthly, the word lila is Sanskrit for play and amusement, and the sense that the universe has been manifested as an act of play by the divine. As you engage with these tantric techniques, give yourself permission to be at play so that you can find your individual path in meditation. 5. Be gradual. Allow yourself to gradually become familiar with the sutra. Notice where in your body you respond to the images and sensations that the text evokes. When you practice, delight in the gentle progression from the outer level of experience to the interior, intimate levels. This may take only a few seconds, but it's gradual. The text uses the word sanais, quietly, softly, gently, gradually. Ride your rhythms. Which number is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ride your rhythms. When you practice with these sutras, there will always be flow and fluctuations in the prana shakti, the vibrant energy of your body-mind system. Your experience will change second by second, and many sensations, emotions, mental pictures, remembered conversations, dreamlike thoughts, desires, and energy sensations will come and go. The waveless state usually lasts only a second or two. Welcome it all, then return to your focus in an effortless way. Yogis often go through an entire mythic journey in a few minutes, hearing the call to adventure, refusal of the call, crossing the first threshold, the road of trials, meeting the mentor, seizing the elixir, resurrection, and the return to the ordinary world. The hero's journey. Meditative experience is often intense. 7th, ask questions of life. Practicing Tantra does not mean imposing techniques upon yourself. An attitude of wonder and inquiry is one of the greatest skills you can develop. Cherish your questions and then be alert so that you can see, feel, and listen to life's responses. Be succinct. For 8. In exploring what you love in a certain sutra, feel into what is the most wonderful word or phrase for you today. When you say or think those 1 or 2 words, the whole sutra will be there, vibrating. There are times when shorter is better. You can select an English or a Sanskrit word or phrase, welcome it into your awareness, and cherish it. 9. Learn by heart. When you find a sutra, a line, or a phrase that resonates with you, memorize it. Learn it by heart. In this way, you can close your eyes and let it roll through your awareness. Remembering is smara, loving recollection. 10. Learn what effortlessness is. When you allow your attention to be called to something you love, the flow is natural. Effortlessness is a great skill and emerges spontaneously from operating in accord with your essence, your prakriti, your essential nature. Effort comes in only when you try to block out thoughts, sensations, or emotions. 11. Find what works for you. There is no one prescription for a meditation practice. Some people are able to practice the sutras techniques on the fly as they move through life. They can enter and exit meditative states within seconds, almost invisibly. I love to meditate for half an hour in the morning and again in the late afternoon. Other people make time for meditation every couple of days or on weekends. The main thing is to explore, test what works, and don't make yourself feel bad for not fitting into an imagined ideal. 12. Don't do too much. Get used to enjoying yourself. Begin with a minute or 2 of practice. 20 minutes of meditative rest is very powerful. Spend a year or 2 getting used to the effects of meditating for 20 or 25 minutes in the morning and evening before going longer. This is just a guideline, though. If you are teaching yoga or doing healing work, you may find that you need to meditate more to keep your energy field shimmering. 13. Honor the no. Not all of these practices are for everybody. The Vijnana Bhairava Tantra is a mini encyclopedia of yoga meditation techniques. Some will call you to come in and play. Some will be scary. Others will just not feel like you. So feel free to simply ignore them. Saying no creates a container, a boundary, leading to the possibility of a profound yes at another time. A healthy relationship includes the freedom to say, no, not right now. The skills of meditation are the skills of loving anyone or anything. For 14. Meditation is not a separate set of skills apart from living and loving people, places, and things. In your inner life, learn to hold yourself as skillfully as a cook holds a spatula, a cellist holds a cello, a singer holds a note, a mother holds a baby. Think of how lightly and yet firmly, how stable and yet responsive the holding is in each situation. The holding changes continually in response to the changing situation. The skills are like this in a subtle way. You are holding and releasing thoughts, emotions, sensations, and perceptions. Hi, Sandy. How did you get back in here? 15. Allow yourself to rest in the truth of your being. When you are attending to a sutra that speaks to you, there will be waves of exhilaration and restfulness. The power of outward expression of your truth and the power of resting in your being. Both will evolve over time. As you learn to rest in your essence, a special, almost magical kind of meditative rest will develop. This aspect of the physiology of meditation has been researched extensively at Harvard Medical School and other universities over the past 40 years. Meditative rest is a type of rest deeper than deep sleep. 16. Meditation is not making the mind quiet. It is tolerating all the noise without resistance and discovering the silent depths. Meditation is not sitting still. It is enjoying your motion on all levels, including the subtle levels, where stillness and exquisite motion seem to be one and the same. 17, I think. I honestly don't know if my counting is that consistent. Honor your individuality, for it is a great mystery. Everybody has a different style of engaging the forces of life as they flow through the nadis, the energy arteries, chakras, the rotating wheels of energy, and muscles. The song Bhairava and Devi are singing to each other is one of intimacy with energy. These practices lead to an intensified relationship with the life pulsating within and around us. Cherish the differences between you and others, for intimacy is based on an appreciation of differences as well as commonality. 18. Be tender toward your wounds, and all that you feel is flawed, broken, or defective in yourself. As the Sūtras say, these wounds are gateways to infinity. Allow the life-giving prana to circulate freely in your being and body, and to heal the places you are ashamed of, the places that ache. 19. Check in with your inner child. take the time to daydream about your childhood quiet times, your forts and secret places, those times when you spoke to the sky and earth, for in these times and places you are natural and untamed. 20. Take naps. If you have been playing with the Sūtras for a while, you may find that your naps become sublime and feel like meditation. These cat naps can create a feeling of being drenched in rejuvenation and healing. Many of us have a sleep deficit, and the more you pay that off, the more you can enter deep states of meditation. 21. Use all of your senses. You have a dozen senses, maybe more. Vision, hearing, smell, taste, touch, plus senses of joint position, balance, motion, stretching, lung inflation, blood pressure, hunger, blood sugar, for example, thirst, hydration, for example, and perhaps magnetoception, the ability to sense magnetic fields. Each sense is a way of being in contact with the vibrating, pulsating field within which we are dancing. Learn all your senses, practice using them, engage with them in pranayama, breathwork, asana, movement, dharana, holding a thought, and dhyana, appreciation, and daily life. Become intimate with the full range of each sense and delight in the nuances and combinations. 22. Get elemental. Space, fire, air, earth, water, and the general tattvas or elements. The Vijnana Bhairava Tantra invites you to develop your own playful and informal relationship with each element as it pulsates in the outer world and within you. Learn to be intimate with each element, with each of your senses. The sight of water flowing, the sound of waves, the smell of the air near rivers and oceans, the taste of anything you drink, the touch of a shower and all over your skin, or the touch of shower water all over your skin. Find your favorite experiences and continually cultivate and expand your list. 23. Be instinctive. Learn also to relate to each element with each of your instincts, of which you have many. Homing, exploring, trail making, resting, nesting, feeding, bathing, forming communities, pair bonding, mating, playing, self-expression, protection, and others. So you can, for example, rest with fire, as in luxuriating in the presence of a candle or fireplace. You can be fed by fire in the form of the heat that cooks your food. You can bathe in fire in the form of sunbathing or just exposing your skin to the sun. You can experience an erotic relationship with sunlight when hiking or doing outdoor sports. Everything you do in the outer world to enrich your sensuous perception of the elements will also enrich your inner world when you are practicing meditation. 24. Welcome infinite variety. A healthy meditation practice involves welcoming the free flow of all elements, with all your senses engaged and all of the instincts free to give their gift. The combinations and permutations are as vast as the stars in the sky, and in this way, each moment of meditation is novel, startling, and fascinating. You enter a lively peace born of embracing life in its fullness, and your body, your perception, and your spiritual practice will be continually refreshed. Let each of your senses delight in each of the elements in every instinctive tone, This is a healthy practice. 25. Welcome your emotions. To the degree that you open your heart to life, you will feel flooded by emotions of all kinds. Each emotion is a world of energy that flows with sensations throughout your body. Some of the major moods described in the yoga literature include laughter, hasya, erotic love or lust, rati, sorrow, soka, anger, krodha, enthusiasm, utsaha, fear or terror, bhaya, disgust, jugupsa, and astonishment, vismaya. We can see these emotions as a color wheel, a mandala. Each one has its place and its gift to give to the vibrancy of life. It is not necessarily a good meditation if you are sitting there feeling peaceful the whole time. A good meditation means you get what you need to thrive in your life. 26. Cherish nuance. Blue light oscillates at around 600 trillion times a second. Red light only 400 trillion times a second. Green light is in between, in the 500 trillion range. Yet we can easily perceive the difference. Our senses have evolved to notice and utilize the various frequencies, all these tiny wiggling energies. We also sense nuances of emotion. We sense the subtle differences between worry, regret, discouragement, envy, weariness, depression, anxiety, grief, shame, agitation, despair, impatience, and indignation. We distinguish between lust, love, adoration, and admiration. Some nuances are fleeting, lasting a fraction of a second. Others demand your attention for a long time. 27. Welcome emotional release. An intimate relationship with prana shakti, the energies of life, is like any relationship. You laugh and you cry. Therefore, welcome thoughts and emotional release as an intrinsic part of the process. Crying and laughing may not seem meditative, but they are cleansing, nourishing, and rejuvenating, and signs of a healthy meditation. The heart and the chakras, the instinctive centers of the body, such as the sexual area, solar plexus, heart, throat, and head, get to reboot themselves, start afresh. Chronic muscular tension blocks the flow of prana and emotion in the body, and as you let go of that tension, you may find you have a backlog of emotions to tend to. Get good at this tending. If it's all too wild, work with a mentor who is adept at dealing with emotion. 28. Savor your emotional experience. When we attend to the flow of emotion with the skills of yoga, there is the possibility of transmutation. The raw experience of life becomes refined. Erotic energies lead to a lovemaking between body and soul. Angry energies turn to the element of fire. Sorrow leads to compassion. Humor leads to levity, a light heart. Even the most base emotions, when we engage with them as yogis, can turn to gold. We extract the essence, the juice or rasa of experience, and bliss, ananda, emerges. Attending to the energy flows in your body is similar to witnessing a movie, play, or dance performance. You are witnessing the play of life as you. As you cherish your experience in this way, you can spend more time in wonder, awe, and peacefulness. 29. Write your own sutras. Give yourself the opportunity to speak and write from inside your own current of perception. There is a flavor, a style of sensing the energies of life that is unique to you, and your world needs it. 30. Don't put your enlightenment outside of you. Not in India, in the past, in the future, in gurus or experts. Honor the revelations that come from your own direct living experience. 31. Note the difference between the path of denial and the path of intimacy. In the past, yoga was the domain of males who practiced a particular asana towards life, sannyasana, throwing down, laying aside, giving up, resignation, renunciation of worldly concerns. Those who practice this posture toward life are called sannyasin, or renouncers, and they generally take vows of celibacy, poverty, and obedience to their superiors in the tradition. The ideal is to be poor and homeless and yet free within, as well as free to practice yoga and meditation all day. This is the ancient path, and it was profound. The energy that would otherwise go into raising children and running a business goes into practicing and preserving the knowledge of meditation. Historically, almost all meditation texts were composed by male renouncers, and so the language system and techniques were shaped for their lifestyle of detachment and denial. All of us who practice meditation today owe these renouncers a debt of gratitude. They kept the faith. In the modern Western world, yoga is practiced mostly by women and men who live in the world and have families and jobs. This is the path of intimacy, and in many ways it is the opposite of renouncing. Those on the path of intimacy work with attachment, desire, and responsibility, honoring and embracing each aspect of life as time, energy, and ethics permit. Their yoga evolves through love, work, play, and honoring the bonds of friendship and family. Instead of taking vows of celibacy, poverty, and obedience, those on the path of intimacy experience sexual relationships, work to generate wealth, and explore the play of independence and cooperation with others. Always practice in accord with your inner nature, whether you are on the path of denial or the path of intimacy. Sorry, my voice is going a little bit. It'll come back. What are we, 32, 33? Give up altogether on judging your experience. During meditation, your brain and body are running maintenance programs. There is a lot of healing going on. Often you will be hurting and feeling your exhaustion. If you were an athlete getting a massage, you wouldn't say, "It was a bad massage because the therapist was rubbing your sore muscles." 34. Make peace with thoughts. If you are going to meditate, make peace with the flow of thought. The brain is always making connections, whether you are meditating or not. Hundreds of thoughts come and go every hour. This is what brains do. When you close your eyes and pay attention, you may become vividly aware of the intricate light show that manufactures all we see, hear, feel, think, and sense. If you are not willing to make peace with thoughts, then do something else for your development. Get into dance or sports, take singing lessons, learn an instrument. 35. Don't enforce a speed limit. You don't have to write yourself speeding tickets. Eyes and brains work fairly rapidly. Third-grade students generally read 2 to 3 words per second, and college students average over 7 words per second. When you are meditating, you might have 7 perceptions per second. Not a problem. People often talk about meditation as slowing down. Consider the opposite, appreciating how fast attention moves. Even though your awareness might be vibrating rapidly, your body and your breathing will often slow down if you are doing one of the sitting or lying down meditations. A speeding mind and a slow body can happen simultaneously. 36. Welcome your wildness. There is a meme in children's cartoons in which someone opens a door, discovers a monster roaring, "Rarg!" and then slams the door and shudders. This shows up in adult movies also. The characters are in a quiet room and walk outside into a tornado of human activity. When some people close their eyes to meditate, they immediately sense wildness and feel out of control. This is not a failure to meditate. It is a glimpse of the astounding reality that is always there. 37. Cultivate the opposite. If you are in love with one side of a polarity, outside, inside, dancing, stillness, visual, tactile, passion, serenity, wildness, peacefulness, freedom, discipline, independence, communion, begin to inquire into the joy of the opposite, which will arise anyway. Yoga flows between the polarities. Breathe out, then breathe in. Turn toward the left, then turn toward the right. Bend forward, then bend back. Train yourself to think in terms of the balance between opposites and the continuum of energies flowing between the poles. Tolerating the play of opposites is called tapas in yoga and valued because this energy builds strength. 38. Look at art, listen to music, read poetry, and dance. The arts, including the expressive arts, speak of the sacred, each one in its own way. Art educates the senses and creates community, sharing revelations with others around the world throughout time. Whenever possible, attend live events, openings, and performances, for artists of all kinds are yogis in the sense of being utterly devoted to bringing forth onto the earth the revelation of truth and beauty. Artists seek to articulate, each in their own medium, the resonance of prana shakti in our times, the unfolding revelation. Be in the presence of artists, musicians, singers, dancers, painters. Know that the attention you bring is a blessing to them as you appreciate their work from a deep place within. 39. Develop expression commensurate with your communion. Learn to express yourself from inside your ecstatic energy flows and sacred spaces. Otherwise, the energies you awaken will just ache. Expression takes the form of movement of all kinds, including dance, sports, and speaking from inside the current of your passion. Mudra is soul-infused movement, and mantra is evocative speech. 40. Get coaching on your meditative practices. For example, I'm a meditation coach and I enjoy working with people in person, on the phone, and by email. When you work one-on-one with a coach, you and your coach can honor your individual experience. 41. Be open to teachers. The best teacher for you on any given day may be the one who embodies the quality you are craving the most, and they may teach in ways other than words. A massage therapist, vocal coach, wilderness guide, or an instructor of dance, art, yoga, breathing, surfing, or martial arts may be your inspiration. 42. Stay in touch. There are lovers of life around every corner. Find others who share the same enthusiasm as you. One way is to sign up for my mailing list. See my website to do so. Well, it is his book. We shall allow him for some advertisements. 43. Come to workshops with us at yoga and retreat centers worldwide. Don't think, oh, everyone is more advanced than me, or I don't have the right yoga pants to wear. You are always welcome. Take our online courses or download audio programs to stay tuned in to the community of others exploring the Radiance Sutras. Thank you very much for listening. That is the section called Engaging with the Sutras. I thought we'd read that before we start the 112 gateways to the yoga of wonder and delight. I'm so grateful that I could read that with you. I very much look forward to properly starting the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra's yuktis with you next time.